So I've been using the minimal phone off and on for the past month or so, and I've run into a problem. So, as many of you know, in my day to day job, I work in IT. Specifically, I'm part of a very small team that supports a very large organization, and I need to be constantly online, have constant communications. I need to multi factor into at least 4 different environments. And while I've tried to use the minimal phone as a daily driver, I've had some hiccups. Today, we're going to go over the problems that I've experienced with the minimal phone, talk about some stumbles that the company itself has had with recent updates and manufacturing, and I'll tell you my future plans for the device. So, as I've said, I've had the minimal phone for roughly 2 months now. As a matter of fact, my review video came out in May. Now it is July. So, in that time, I have gone from the minimal phone to my Z Flip 6 to my OnePlus 12 and back and forth. I don't normally have an issue doing that. The hardest part for me is setting up my Aura Ring. And while I was using it as a digital key for my car, I don't really use that anymore because I still have to carry an actual key with me, so it just doesn't bother me. During my time with the minimal phone, I've run into quite a few hiccups. Some of these a lot of other minimal phone users have experienced, and some of these are probably a little unique to my use case, but I'm going to go over those real quick. Issue number 1, I've always had a problem, whether wired or wireless, with Android Auto in my car. Either the processor or the Bluetooth connection or something is not powerful enough on this device to be able to run Google Maps and do something like open YouTube Music, or even an onboard music player with onboard music. Sometimes for YouTube Music, I actually have to use Google Assistant to then open YouTube Music and play music, and then the app will open. So that was a workaround, wasn't too terrible. The second problem I've had is trying to use the double click feature on the power button to initiate the camera. Now, 9 times out of 10 when I do this, whether the phone is locked or unlocked, the phone just kind of either power cycles or shows the logo of the device and then turns the screen off. Again, I found no workaround for this. I've had issues maintaining a proper refresh setting. So I'll change the setting to like the midway point for refresh on the device, and the device will go back and forth on its own seemingly. And these are the small issues I've been having. Some of the major issues I've been having have to do with my Ray-Bans. Now, I've been using my Ray-Bans for quite some time now, and on every other phone I have, the Meta AI app works on the device, and I can maintain connection with the glasses. With the minimal phone, however, importing videos and pictures from the glasses to the phone will almost always cause the application to crash and will almost always fail to actually import the items. And on top of that, if I power cycle the phone, I completely lose connection to the glasses and have to completely start the pairing process all over again. Again, I'm assuming this has something to do with the processor, and it's a minimal phone, so I understand that the goal of the phone is to keep you off the phone and not be paired with a bunch of devices. But as you know, the point of this channel is to review devices and products that I would use in my daily life. Now, on to the major issues I've had with the phone. 1, I've had some pretty major issues with notifications coming through. I've gone through the phone and turned off some of the features that help you preserve battery life. I have gone through the application DuraSpeed and turned off the settings for DuraSpeed for every single app that I need in my day-to-day life. And while there are over 200 applications on this phone, the only social media I have on there is Instagram, and that is only for the Ray-Ban glasses. For my job, I have to have applications like Outlook and Slack and Zoom and a help desk agent and other things like that so that I can be available when I'm away from my desk. I have gone so far as to uninstall every single application that I do not use on a regular basis. This includes some EV charging apps because I haven't been traveling that much. This includes other travel applications. This includes, like I said, all social media except for Instagram. And I still run into the following issues: notifications. Seemingly, no matter what I do, I can't get proper notifications on the device. It seems like when the display goes to sleep, notifications stop until you pick up the phone. It's not always the case, it's very intermittent, but when it happens, it's typically when my boss or someone else in the company is trying to get a hold of me, and it's quite important. Secondly, text messaging. Now, I've been using this with the Verizon network, and currently it's got my Mint Mobile SIM in it. But in the case of Verizon, I've noticed that RSC will sometimes shut itself off and try to re-register. And when that happens, it takes quite some time to re-register. This can lead to text messages not coming in properly or text messages not going out properly. And that can be quite of a headache. But the number one factor that caused me to switch back to a Z Flip 6 from this device is this. A while back, we had something kind of catastrophic go on at my office. Just a huge issue that affected multiple users. My boss was being pulled into things, was questioning me, questioning my coworker, needed to get a hold of us really quickly. I was in the middle of doing other things, and all of a sudden, all these notifications flew into my phone. So I looked down and I start trying to reply, and the phone had been in my pocket and had gotten so hot that it froze. Like I could not do anything. I tried to text my boss and I tried to Slack my boss. The keypad stopped responding. Everything seemed to be about 10, 15 seconds behind. I did have to end up power cycling the phone. That was kind of the nail in the coffin for me for now. I can't rely on the phone day to day. And who knows if this would happen if I was in an actual emergency and someone needed to get a hold of me. So I've switched back to my Z Flip 6, and the minimal phone is a secondary device. I still have my email on there, and I still have Instagram on there. I still have all the other work apps, but I don't rely on it, and it sits off to the side, and I use it sparingly. And now on to the problems that the minimal company have had. Number one, I ordered this phone and a case in January. And in my previous video, I went over some of the hiccups that they've had in shipping. It's understandable with the state of things nowadays, but they had an issue with the first batch of cases, and I was supposed to receive a case when I got the phone, and that was delayed, and I still haven't received the case, and it's been 7 months since I ordered the phone. So the minimal phone has been the only phone that I've carried around naked. Thankfully, I haven't dropped it, but having the case that I ordered and paid $30 for months ago would be nice. And the minimal phone company has addressed this, saying they found a weakness in the case design right along the charge port, and we should get them soon. I'm not part of Minimal Phone's Discord server, and I've thought about signing up for it, but and while I'm part of the subreddit that the Minimal company has for their phones, they're not really good at communicating on there. And from the people who are on there, they say they're not really communicating on the Discord server as well. Secondly, I've mentioned several issues I've had with the phone itself, some with the display, some with the settings, things like that. When I have emailed customer support, and when they have responded, they have said that they are aware of the issues and that a software patch will be out. They have promised software updates on the minimal phone for several years. However, the latest update, which was supposed to be out in June, has now been postponed for a couple of weeks. Now, I use the quotes because, typically speaking, the minimal company's language has been so ambiguous that it could be a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and so I don't know. What are my plans for this phone? Well, I'm going to hang on to it. I spent $450 of my own money to get it, and I want to see the project succeed. I hope the minimal company finally catches up with their production problems and can then focus on customer fulfillment and software patches. Now, if this doesn't happen, I don't know if there's going to be a minimal phone 2 because I've seen a lot of people have a lot of problems that don't get addressed in a timely manner. So as I said, I'm going to keep the phone. I'm going to keep it around. I want to see this thing through the end, but it won't be a daily driver, at least until they start putting out some updates for the device that fix some, if not all, of my problems. I just wanted to put this quick video out to update you on my current relationship with the minimal phone. As you know, I try to give you open and honest reviews of products that I do use in my daily life. And while I would love to have a phone that is this distraction free, it's a little too distraction free in the fact that it doesn't give me the notifications that I need on a regular basis. With that being said, if you're a company that happens to have a device similar to this and would like an open and honest review of the device, please reach out to me. You can find my information at reviewsfornerds.com or on my YouTube channel. I would love to talk to you about showing off your product to my audience. As always, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video as much as I have making it. My name is Bryant. This is Reviews for Nerds. Have a great day.